Welcome, fellow truth seekers, to our cosmic corner of the internet. Today we are honored to bring you a profound and transformative experience with the renowned Andromedan contactee, Alex Collier. But before diving into cosmic wisdom, we kindly ask you to lend your support. Please take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon for notifications. By doing so, you help us amplify Alex Collier's knowledge and reach a wider audience. Together, let's ignite the awakening of consciousness around the world. This video contains the entire 90-minute webinar number 35. In this webinar, Alex delves into various thought-provoking topics, including current intelligence updates, transitioning into fourth and fifth dimensions, the intricacies of quantum physics, and insights into the Blue Brain Project of Switzerland. Learn about how our brains perceive dimensions, the power of individual spiritual empowerment, the art of creating your own reality, and much more.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Alex Collier webinar on this experimental software that YouTube have thrown at us. It's nothing to do with, we had it really good down, and now YouTube's changed the rules and they changed the carpet underneath us. So we're just trying to get the table in, get the leg in under the carpet. So greetings. It's a lovely summer's day here in Scotland. How is it over in Colorado, Alex?
It's beautiful, very warm, 90 degrees, but no humidity, which is nice, very low humidity. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the webinar number 35. Yeah, we have no idea about the software, how this is going. There could be a physical or a verbal delay. We don't know. And, JP's doing the best he can with equipment that Noah threw off the ark because it didn't work for him either. And so we are doing the best we can. And I want to make a couple of comments before we get into the things. I want to offer my condolences to the families in London of that horrible high-rise fire. It looked awful, and it spread so fast that many of us here in the United States were just aghast. And it has a lot of cities rethinking what they're going to do and how they would even deal with a fire like that. And, to the survivors and to their families, my deepest condolences. As you know, here in the United States, we had a shooting in Virginia of a gentleman who decided he was going to kill Republicans. And one of the big questions that was asked was, well, how did he know where the Republican baseball team was practicing? Because usually that information is kept very quiet because, they are leaders of the nation, they are representatives of the specific states, and they usually have security details, etc., so that information is kept very quiet. Well, the honor and the distinction of telling people where the Republicans were going to practice, now, mind you, where the Democrats were practicing, that information was never divulged. But it fell upon this newspaper to decide that it was going to tell everybody where the Republicans were going to be practicing. And that honor and distinction belonged to the New York Times, the fake news paper of record. And they should be disgraced. And if it were within my power, I would be telling the President and the Congress that it is time to take some new resumes and pick another newspaper of record and basically fire the New York Times. because this is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, their behavior. And there seems to be very little consequence. And there needs to be a consequence. There really does. So I wanted to talk about that. You know, and of course there's violence everywhere. And, you know, those of us who are paying attention, energy is definitely ratcheting up. We see it, we feel it. We know that time is speeding up as well. Events seem to be unfolding much quicker. And it's very difficult to get a grasp on it. You know, on last Friday, or every other Friday, James will send me a text asking me, what is it that I want to talk about? And then JP puts together a trailer about what we're going to talk about. And as you know, I usually put current stats and sometimes other things. And that's because things are changing so quickly that it's difficult to narrow something down. And I'm uncomfortable saying this is what we're going to do, and then all this other stuff occurs, which is something we're going to talk about today, because all this other stuff has occurred and that we're going to talk about today. And I even have some homework for you guys, if you choose to do the mission. Okay. So metaphysics, as we know it, is actually quantum physics with a spiritual slant. Okay? Now what's fascinating is metaphysics comes down to us, at least the knowledge is at least 25,000 years old, which means it was here during Lemuria, it was here during Atlantis, and that our forefathers had this basic knowledge about how the universe worked, how the holograph worked, and that everything was light, color, and sound. That information was known to our forefathers. Some of it has actually made it to us. And of course it has been, you know, kind of pushed aside, and, you know, it's been given the moniker woo-woo. But what's fascinating is that now science, called quantum mechanics, quantum physics, is actually proving metaphysics to not only be right, but to actually be the way to look at everything that's going on. Now, and exactly what is, you know, quantum physics? What is quantum mechanics? You know, what is metaphysics? And it is essentially the idea of breaking everything down to its simplest truth, to what it is, where it comes from, how it is, and what makes it happen, what makes it real. And the answers to all of those questions is surprisingly simple. And it really comes down to this. What you believe is true, what you focus your attention on, what you invest emotionally with intent on is in fact true. Because you can literally create and manifest anything. Now, what's interesting about this statement is the structures that we all live in now on the planet. And those structures not only set humanity back, but they're actually an incredible hindrance to humanity's evolution and evolvement. And we're going to talk about that today. Now, and I want to thank Lauren for sending this email to me. I was going to go there, but when, you know how sometimes you put something out and you're like, God, you know, I want to do this, I want to talk about this, but I want more data. And then somehow, somewhere, this information comes to you. It's amazing how these synchronistic things happen, and I know that we've all experienced those, and we do every day. And it is just awesome and spectacular when these things happen, especially when they're right on time, when you need it, not later, you know, but when they're right on time. And as we're going to be talking today, there was a piece of information called the Blue Brain Project. And I give that to you so you can either look it up while we're talking, or you can look it up afterwards at your leisure. And it's a project that's being done in Switzerland. Now, those of you who remember the information from when I first started speaking back in the early 90s, in 93, 91, 93, God, it seems like 100 years ago. I've been saying since day one that the A's, the Andromedans, fifth density Andromedans, they have always said that there were 11 creational densities. Okay? 11. And that's in the notes, and if you go back to the earliest tapes and the videos and audio cassettes, etc. Even Defending Sacred Ground, I know it's mentioned in there a few times. And that one of the reasons why the fifth density Andromedans have shown up here, and other races, there are other races from fifth and fourth density here as well, is because tyranny shows up in our galaxy. Now, the process in discovering that came from our solar system is an interesting process. And what the A's did, and I don't know about the others, I can only speak for the A's because, you know, they shared the information with me. When they looked at the event, the tyranny manifesting, when they looked at it, they had to dedicate resources to it, because when you look at an event, a future event, as it would be to us, okay, when they saw the tyranny showing up, when they looked at it, they had to dedicate the resources to it. And what they did was, when you look at an event like that, time begins to run backwards. Now you say, well, how's that possible? Nobody knows, okay? But that's what happens when, if you were to look at your future self, you would notice that time begins to run backwards. And the reason for that is that you're looking at yourself from here to there. What you're looking at in that moment is all predicated on where you're at in yourself at that moment. So what happens is, when you look at yourself in the future, time begins to run backwards to the present moment, to where you are now standing or sitting. Okay? So you are literally creating your experience moment by moment by moment. Now, if you were to watch time come back and then decide, oh my God, I got to do the dishes, I got to make dinner for the kids, and you stop looking at it, the next time you look at yourself in the future, it will be different. You will not see the exact same thing. So what happens is you have to stay there until you watch the future roll back till time comes back to where you now are in the present moment. Well, this is what the A's did. Okay, they looked at that event and they put the resources in place so that everyone would see it, and they watched time roll back to where it was in the present time to here, to our present time, which in fact was our past, because this was in I believe it took them all the way back to 1958. Something happened in 1958, okay, that triggered this whole thing. And that event was a contract, a treaty had been signed with the Orion Group, a group from Orion, in 54, and their first underground facility, I believe, was completed that the government built in 58, and they took possession of it. That flipped everything, okay? Now, it's not to say that there weren't other groups here underground hiding, inside the earth, at the bottom of the ocean, but they weren't overtly contacting humanity, per se, not until 58. That's when the collusion began, okay, between Earth governments and the reptilians, the Greys, etc. So that's an interesting point to make, is that when you look at the future, time begins to roll backwards. Which is interesting because all of us are experiencing time speeding up. That's because we're in the present. And we are anxiously trying to create our future or decide what we want our future to be. Okay? And of course, that begins on an individual level. I mean, that is a quest that every soul has on this planet, is to literally create their own reality. Now, where we've gotten into trouble is that we have allowed ourselves to be herded, literally herded, into creating a reality that really isn't ours. The ultimate goal of this reality is not something that we absolutely embrace, because one, where it's actually going is being hidden from us. Two, we are constantly being lied to and misled about what the intentions are of those in power to lead us into the specific direction. Three, the abilities and technologies that we ourselves have been hidden from us. In fact, our DNA is constantly being bombarded by GMO foods, polluted air, chemtrails, etc., to essentially make sure that we do not actually reach our potential. And you can argue that till the cows come home with somebody else, okay? Now, a year and a half ago, maybe it was, when we first started doing the webinars, I told you that the matrix net around the planet had been dropped, okay? The electric fence had been dropped. And it is gone. It isn't there anymore. I still hear people say that it's up. It is not up, okay? The only thing is up is their belief that it's there, and what that does is it blocks them and gives them an excuse not to have to go after spiritual truths and to work on themselves, okay? There are many people in the spiritual community who are simply content being a victim. And I'm just going to call it like it is, okay? And you are not a victim. There are no victims anymore, okay? You do or you don't. End of story. You do or you don't. Now, There is no more excuses to be disempowered. You're seeing the dark hand, you're seeing the hidden ones, you are seeing their agenda coming out, being exposed all over the planet every day now. It no longer can be hidden. And you have to make a choice as to what it is you want. You have to choose, do you want to be free, truly free, or do you want to be safe and live in a box where you don't have to take any responsibility? And to some people, that's a very difficult choice, because there are some people who have so invested themselves in the persona of being disempowered, of being the victim, that they can't even imagine themselves not being that persona. And the ego has created such a wall around that persona that it may be that they just simply can't find a way either over the wall or through the wall. They can't find a crack. So maybe this will help. Maybe this will help. As I've shared with you in several other webinars, I get emails from young people who are so disillusioned that they talk about suicide. And those are really, really hard. Those are really, really hard. So I pushed it forward, okay, which is what I do. I push it to Mornay, and I'm like, what do I do here? How do I help? And his response is that many of these young people simply do not feel connected to the reality, the constructs of the reality that we have been living in for almost 4,000 years. They simply don't feel attached to it or a part of it. And they don't know how to integrate who they truly are and how they feel inside with this construct that we have, that most of us live under today. Okay? And I'm going to share with you why. I'm going to share with you why. And this information came, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday, from Lauren. There is a project going on in Switzerland. It's called the Blue Brain Project. And they have been looking at MRIs, brain scans, of people for a very, very long time. Now, the issue with an MRI is that it's 2D and 3D. But what they noticed was there was a lot more going on in there that they could not see. But they knew it was there, okay? They could hear it. I guess in some ways they could even see it. They saw something, and they wanted to know what it was. And this specific project is based around the fact that they were trying to actually make a true model of how the brain works and its depth. Now, what's interesting about this is that they had to create software and technology in order to be able to do this. They had to create technology that is both telescope and microscope, and then the software that could integrate both of those technologies in such a way. And there is an expression of the technology. It is called algebraic topology. Algebraic topology. Well, guess what they found? They found in most people that the brain visually sees 7 dimensions. 7 dimensions. Some brains see 11 dimensions. And some of you didn't think the Patal were real. Okay? So some could see 11 dimensions, some could see 7. Now, before we really delve into that, all of you are already advanced spiritual beings. It's obvious. You already are. Okay? You, as Visayas once said, you are already the ones you're searching for. We are, okay? We are already the ones we're searching for. So, we are already hardwired to see at least 7 dimensions and some to see 11. Which means there is no doubt 4th density is coming. There is no doubt 5th density is coming. Because a part of us, our brain, already knows. It already knows. It already sees it. It already knows it. Because in order for you to know it, you would have had to have passed through it and lived in it and experienced it. Okay? So here we are, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th density beings, living in this 3rd density box in an incredibly restrictive reality that someone else has dictated to us. And is saying, this is the way you have to do it. It has to be done within these parameters, okay? You can't go outside those parameters because then you're a kook, you're a nut, you're a loony bin, okay? Or you're just crazy, and we're just gonna lock you up, okay? When in fact, the box needs to be emptied, okay? We all need to be on the other side of the box. We need to be like cats who can't be herded, each one an individual, each one creating their own reality, each one following their passion, their desire to do what it is that they're drawn and impassioned to do. That's what has to happen here. Okay? That's what has to happen here. We regularly talk about 4th and 5th density. Ladies and gentlemen, your homework, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to continue to think about 4th and 5th density. Okay, the wall is down. Okay, we are getting cosmic energy, cosmic information. Our vibrations are rising. Our DNA is starting to hum because of the Earth, the Schumann resonance. It is spiking to over 200 now at times. Okay? And what's flipping people out is the fact that the ego, the persona of the ego, simply cannot deal with the reality that isn't a reality. Okay? They're losing control. And those in power simply either can't do what we do, or they simply refuse to see themselves to have the ability or the power to do what we can do. And therefore, the only thing they know to do, because they are more afraid of us than we are of them, that's obvious, is that they have to disempower us to gain power for themselves. That's it. And that's all they know, is to disempower us so that they can gain more power. Because that's the persona they're locked into. They simply cannot comprehend the fact that maybe some of them have the exact same abilities that we do. And they simply choose not to do it. That doesn't mean we have to continue to play ball and put up with this shit. Okay? It was Einstein, right? Einstein once said, "You cannot solve the problems of the world with the same thinking that created them." So we have to step out of the box. And we're going to have some conversations. I've asked some very specific questions, which I'm waiting on some answers for, on very specific techniques and things that we can do. And this question has been asked in several webinars. I'm working on that, okay? Because I want us all to get it. I want the information out there so that all of you can do what you do. Now, this doesn't mean that if you form groups to do this work together, that there needs to be a leader. This doesn't mean that if a messianic figure should show up, that you necessarily have to follow this messianic figure. Okay? Because you already are a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh density being. At a minimum, you already are. Okay? Your brain's already hot-wired for that. It's a done deal. Okay? And some of you are 8, 9, 10, and 11. It's a done deal. You're already there. It is dropping the persona of the ego and then boldly moving individually towards that place that only your soul can go. Only your soul can go. And we don't need to be afraid of it because you're eternal. There is no reason to be afraid of anything. We just have to let this go. The control, the manipulation, the religions that have just blocked so many people and have made so many people stuck. Okay? They serve their purpose. But that was 400 years ago. Okay? It's time to let it go. To put it aside, just let it go. Take our energy and our focus and our intention and direct it directly towards what it is that we want. And ladies and gentlemen, most of that is an individual journey. It's an individual journey. Because the part of it that's important about it being an individual journey is that you have to empower yourselves before you can help empower anyone else. You have to know what you know that you know it. You have to fully remember it to the point where you can literally just drop the ego, okay, that persona that we've all had to create in order to survive in this environment, and just move forward. And to go after what it is that we want. And we've talked about that in previous webinars, about, you need to know what it is that you want. Okay? Now, let me go back and just review something here, because this is really, really important. Any being on this planet that has soul is a higher dimensional being. Okay? You already know. The trick here is to empower yourself. To no longer see yourself as a victim. To no longer see yourself as anything else other than a spiritual being. Because everything is light. But I believe it's Jesus who was is credited with saying, "I am the light of the world." But yet he also said, "These things I do, ye shall do greater if ye have faith." Okay, that clearly means we're equals. Whoever actually said it, I don't really know. Okay. And that's because everything is light. When you break everything down, it is light. Okay, atoms, gravity waves, all of it is light. And what happens is our focused intent pulls it into physical matter. The Earth is doing the exact same thing. Many of the other planets are doing the exact same thing. When scientists at CERN and other places are looking for dark matter, all they're looking at and what they're looking for is just pure raw energy that has not been turned on by focused intent. The Ace said that years and years and years ago. You know, when I was on their ship, and I said, well, how come there's nothing there? And Visayas very quickly just said, very nonchalant, you know, like, God, Alex, you're an idiot. You should know this, which I didn't. And he just said, those are areas that have not been, there's been no focused intent. They haven't been turned on by intent. In other words, no one has sent a message to that energy to be something else than just what it is. It hasn't been magnetized by thought. That's the words he used. It had not been magnetized by thought. Okay? Well, science is now proving that our brains are wired to at least 7th density. So 5th density shouldn't be that difficult to achieve. 4th density should be a walk in the park. And that's where we need to focus. Because the world's like losing its mind. It's just crazy. So what we need to do is we need to firmly focus our intent in bringing in 4th and 5th density, thinking about it, magnetizing it, drawing it to us. Okay, drawing down 4th density. Maybe we can speed things up if we consciously intend this to occur, like now. And then 5th density, because these things have to be done in stages. And let's just make this happen. Let's just make this leap. Let's just get it over with. Okay? Let's just move through it. Because the bad guys who have chosen not to evolve, they're planning some stupid shit, folks. And, I mean, you see it. I mean, you see it. You see it everywhere. The violence, it's just terrible. This is not who we are. This truly is not the essence of who we are as beings. And we have to stop investing in who we aren't and move in the direction of who we are. Okay? Because in order to change the future, we have to change the present. That's the lesson here. We have to change the present in order to change the future. We can't look to the future expecting it to give us the answers. The answers are all right here, because, which was proven by the A's, and I believe quantum physics is even spelling this out as well. If you look to the future, all it does is time rolls back and brings you to the present. So we have to consciously make the intention to change the future right here and right now. Okay? 4th density has its issues. We are still in a situation where we have polar opposites. We have the duality. 5th does not. 5th does not have the duality. But we have to go through 4th to get to 5th. We can't make that jump. We won't know what to do. Okay? And we have an obligation to try to help the younger people to know how to do this. Okay? We're We are all forefathers here. Every single one of us, whether you choose to be or not. You're a forefather. What you do matters. What you do counts, whether you have children or not. You have family, you have friends. Okay, you are mentoring, whether you know it or not. But you have to mentor yourself first. You have to figure yourself out first in order to move in this direction. Okay, we're already hardwired to do it. You have to know this. Okay, this should make it easier in knowing this. Okay, so you can just drop all the burdens of all the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and all the mistakes of and all the woulda, coulda, shouldas. You can drop all that behind you now, let it go, lay it down, and start focusing on right now. Starting over right now. Okay? You are already a spiritual being, an evolved spiritual being, well beyond third density. It's now time to remember. And hopefully I will have some stuff for you the next time about some things to do, to remember. Now, many of you, I'm sure, have heard about the solfeggio harmonics, the tones. I would suggest you get on YouTube, or you get on Amazon and find them, and you start playing whichever, there's all kinds of music out there with the solfeggio. I believe I'm saying it right, tones. They have it hidden underneath beautiful music. They have just the tones, whatever floats your boat. Okay? Surround yourself with the tones. It'll help, because the tones are the sounds of the Creator. They're the tones of the dimensions, of the frequencies. And we're blessed to at least have those tools here. So let's take advantage of it. Let's use those. And if you're in an office where there's a lot of people and you can put something on your desk and you have a CD player, you play it, and you just play it low enough for you to hear it, audibly. The people around you, their subconscious is going to hear the music. So they're going to get it anyway. And let's just make this happen. Let's truly make a conscious effort to bring fourth density and fifth density to the earth. Let's not wait for us to get there. Let's bring it here now. Okay? There's no excuse not to. We already know in our heads what it is. Our brains already know what to look for because it's already been there. We're already hot-wired. Okay? So it's just intention now. Intention to do this, to empower ourselves. And as we do this, you will begin to manifest things quicker, more abundance, better relationships, better friends, whatever it is you want, I mean, you made you're here. You can do anything. Absolutely anything. Okay? It's not bullshit. You can do this. I absolutely know you can do this. We can do this. But the journey has to begin by you, the individual. All right? You don't need to, we have to be like cats. You can't herd cats. Each one of them, they may work and live and play with each other, but each one of them is distinctly and independently their own individual. They are who they are. They all have their own personalities. So should you. You should not be someone you're not, just to please others. Don't do it anymore. Let it go. Be who you are. But you have to discover who that is. Okay? There is a person on YouTube who, and I believe his last name is Dunn, who has predicted or is saying that the Andromedans are here and they have brought 5 planets with them. And that on June 21st, a separation is going to occur where those who are going to spiritually evolve are going to go on one planet, a 5th density planet, and the rest are going to be going on to a 3rd density planet, and they're just going to whatever. Okay? It's bullshit. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, so let me explain this to you. Number 1, there are definitely planets in our solar system, but they belong to the Anunnaki. So he has the first 2 letters right, A and N. The rest of it's completely wrong. Okay? So, and those planets are passing through. In fact, there's 7 planets plus the dwarf star, which isn't quite here yet. Okay? So, they're Anunnaki planets. And the photographic evidence is there's a lot of it around. 2, it is not possible to bring a 5th density planet into our frequency and vibration now without all hell literally breaking loose. It's just not possible. Okay? So that's wrong. It's just wrong. And I don't know why he's even doing this. Because there should be smoke coming out of his ears because someone is blowing smoke up his ass, if that's what he thinks. Okay, and I'm sorry, I have to deliver that message. Okay, because I got a lot of emails about it. This is not how this works. They can't force the issue. It is not up to them to do any issue here. It is not up to any of the extraterrestrials to make any decisions, any choices for humanity at all. Okay, this is not about them. This is not about them. They're here to mentor and assist. That's it. Okay? Remember, the strong ones don't hurt you. Only the weak ones do. The strong ones help. They assist. They protect. The weak ones are the ones who hurt you. Remember that. Okay? Remember that. This is not about the A's. This is not about the P's. This is not about this Arcturians. It's not about any of them. Okay? They're here to assist. This is about us. Humanity. Changing our stars. Changing our direction. Breaking free of this trap that we have found ourselves in. I wish I knew the original intent for those of us who fell out of time to come back here. I don't. I don't, because you know, in my head, I'm trying to figure out why would I agree to this plan? You know, why would I leave that to come back to here and deal with this? I haven't wrapped my head around that just yet. Okay. And I don't even know that it's important anymore. What is important is knowing where it is I want to be and moving in that direction. Okay? And that's the same for you guys. And, you know, you're all going to have your own spin on what you hear me say. You are all going to process it in different ways to mean what it means to you. Okay? To define it in your own personal ways. There is no denying that your brain already visually knows and sees at least 7th density. So that's 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? It already knows. That knowledge, that information, that ability is already there. It's already been hotwired into your brain. There are some that see 11. Okay? There's no denying that. It's there. All we got to do is find it. This is not a treasure hunt anymore. Okay? This is not a treasure hunt anymore. This is a mission. Okay? This is a mission. Okay? You know where the gold is. Okay? Wasn't it Tolstoy who said, you know, not everything is gold, but sometimes what you have to do is wash away everything that isn't the gold? Okay? Well, that's what we have to do. We have to wash away everything that isn't gold. Just let it go. Okay? Just let it all go. What isn't real, what isn't our stuff, just let it go. And move in the direction that we need to move in order to change this holograph we've been living in. And we have to do it. We have to do this. Okay? Governments are never going to do it. They can't get out of their own way. Oh my God. They hamper, they hurt instead of help. Okay? Because in their quest to help, they have to garner more control. And that's not what this is about. And the regressives, well, many of them are leaving. There's still some here. Okay, but they're going to be dealt with. What we need to focus on is what we need to focus on. And that's us. Okay? You as an individual and us as a humanity. But you have to take care of you first. Okay, JP, I'm giving you a heads up.
You should be able to hear me. You can hear me, yeah?
So that we can do some Q&A, if that's okay. Maybe do a little bit of extra stuff.
Can you hear me?
I hope this is helpful, folks. This is incredibly exciting stuff. You know, I get some questions about Nibiru. Folks, I don't have anything new, and I know that there are some people who are running a lot of fear. I have those moments myself. But the bottom line is, this is something that occurs, and it has in the past. And when you get into that space of fear, of not knowing what to do, my suggestion is, and the first thing I suggest you do, is check your breathing. If your breathing is really shallow, then your body's in fear. Take deeper breaths. Okay? Take deeper breaths. Breathe deep. And what you will find is that the fear and the stress and the anxiety will begin to go away almost immediately. Because you can't make really good, clear decisions in that kind of a state. And the bottom line is, there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Okay, this is an event that's going to occur and is occurring. What we can focus on is what we can do. And that is fourth and fifth density. We already know that we're going to get assistance. We already have assistance. It's already been occurring. There's already been intervention on multiple levels, not only around this event, but breaking down the wall, taking down the fence so that humanity can begin to wake up and let go of the fog that it's been under for thousands and thousands of years. In order to change the perspective of humanity, we have to change the perspective of ourselves first. Okay? We are not sinful creatures. We were not born of sin. That is just a crock of shit if I've ever heard of it. Okay? It is. Throw that shit away. Because that's all it is. That is disempowering mumble jumble bullshit. Let it go. I guess you know where I stand with that. Okay? That is not what this is about. No way. No way is that what this is about. Okay? That was a trap. And most of us bought into it. Okay, but we don't have to anymore because it isn't real. It's just not true. So, anytime, JP, you want to chip in, I'm ready for you. Maybe he can't. So maybe I should read questions? Is that what we need to do here? Oh, I can't see. Okay. Here's a really good question. What could be done about the semi-regressives who are targeting people with scalar wave torture, etc.? You know, that's a good question. I have, over the years, gotten emails from people who are contactees, but in a very regressive, negative way. And I have always passed forward their names, where they live, if I know, and what's going on with them. And any description that I have of the group that is doing this to them, I've always passed it on to the A's. And my understanding is that some people have been assisted, but the A's, but Mornay and more Mornay than Faceas. If certain individuals were connected to certain groups like Pleiadians or Plagiarians or Aldebarans or Lyrans, Cirrus A, etc., they would move the information to them, all right, so that they could assist with their lineage, their bloodlines. And I guess that's the protocol up there in a situation like this. That's the protocol. And I don't know what's happened after that.
Alex.
Let me just finish this point, JP.
No problem.
But to those of you who are experiencing this, you need to understand clearly the reason they're picking on you is because you are more powerful than they are. And they are feeding off of you. They are feeding off of you because they're cowardly. And you can and you have the power to stop it yourselves. Don't be afraid to do whatever it is that you have to do to protect yourself. Okay? I hopefully will have more information if there's more to do about that particular thing. Those of you, who have asked me for help. I'm working it, and I'm working it as fast as I can. Okay. Okay.
Alex, that's a really valuable points that you've just made, because obviously as a radio host, and I speak to people like yourself and Simon Parks and all the other contactees, and everybody's being bothered by reptilians and stuff like that. Now, the way I approach it now with a slightly different approach to, I'll see how I can help by reminding them that they're ninjas, and that you only become a ninja through ninja training, and that a lot of the experiences that they've had in their lives can be regarded as a training rather than as a victim thing. And it seems to work a little better. Go ahead.
if they already have seventh density knowledge in their head, if they're already wired for it, okay, then they have the abilities to thwart this. They just don't remember. You know,
Exactly.
the key to taking advantage of someone is to disempower them first. Make them believe that they are less than what they are. Okay, folks, you're already Jedi. You are already Jedi. Don't take the shit from them. Just know what you know. You know? Oh, God. You know, I do a lot of travel at night where I leave my body and I travel and I go different places, you know? And I don't look for trouble, but I no longer run from it either. And I use light and I use the tools that I have, you know? And I mean, if you want to come at me, okay, fine. Let's get down. Let's just get down, because in that realm, we're the same. And I know what I know. You know, you don't have to back down. You don't. You are already Jedi. Just know this. Know this about yourself. Fill yourself with this light that you already are, okay? If anybody is in your life that disempowers you, cut them loose. Cut them loose. Cut them loose, okay? Because they're not serving you. They're not serving you. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm
Don't
not
apologize.
sorry.
That's
I'm not sorry
the
to say
truth,
that.
Alex.
I mean that. I mean that with all my heart and all my soul. You know, you don't have to take shit from anyone. You just don't. So don't. Don't. Okay. Okay. You're up.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so damn. I mean, it was working at the beginning. I'm not going to moan. Anyway, let's get straight in, shall we? This is a question from Laura. Laura M. Hello. Any updates from the A's, Alex's, or your own perspective on the continuing plans for the event shift solar flash for humanity? Thank you.
Okay. No, I know that this, and I know where this information comes from about a solar flash, and then everybody's supposed to be in fifth density. My understanding is that's just supposed to happen. It has never been said that that's how it was going to occur. So until then, I don't know that that's absolutely true. I don't know if humanity's ready, because we're not fully in fourth density yet, and to just bypass fourth and go into fifth, I don't know how that would work. Actually, my understanding was, and I have shared this in previous webinars, is that some of us, the adults and children, would be moving in and out of fourth and fifth, and then would be coming back. They would literally be like you see on YouTube, people walking down a sidewalk and they're gone. Okay, or a car driving and they're gone. Okay, they're moving into someplace else, and then and you've seen this. There's one clip I saw of a car in I believe it's in Great Britain, in England, where it's on one of the turnpikes. It disappears, and then 200 yards later, it comes out. Okay, it went somewhere. That the kids are supposed to be doing this, and they would be coming back and telling us who they've talked to, what it's like, and sharing, like what some of the kids do that have near-death experiences, and they say they've gone to heaven. Okay? And then they come back and they describe what it is that they saw. It could very well be they're just seeing fifth density. Okay? But that's how they would interpret it. So my understanding is that's how it's supposed to happen. You know, the last thing they want to do is to put everybody in trauma. But again, I don't know. You know, we're the ones who are supposed to be creating this. We are. And we should not be letting anyone create our reality for us. We just shouldn't do it. Because again, that's giving your power away. And that's not what this is about. This is about empowering yourself. It is not about giving your power away. Otherwise, you might as well stay here. Because there's plenty of people here who will take your power and feed off of you. You don't have to go anywhere else to do that. Okay? But that's not what this is about. This is about empowering ourselves, becoming fully independent, to unconditionally be responsible for oneself without being coerced to accept some higher authority. And I quote Faceus. There you go. That's it. In a nutshell. Okay.
That's the one. That is the one. It's all about authority, isn't it? So, from Elaine, can Alex tell us the, now she says astrological, but I would also say numerological significance of the dates that the Lizzies use when carrying out their terror events?
No. I have invested zero time and energy into their belief systems because they don't resonate with me at all. They don't resonate with me at all. So why would I even go there? If she knows why they choose those dates, then maybe we should all be more aware of that. Maybe we should all put those dates on our Outlook calendars, and on those particular dates, we share more light around the planet so that, you know, those idiots don't do anything stupid to hurt others. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions about that. But no, I have not invested any time into that. Because I don't want to resonate. I don't even want to look in their direction. You know, I don't even want to look in their direction. You know what that means?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's like paying them attention is giving them energy, isn't it?
So
attention is energy. So, oh, here's a good one. Have any negative ETs on their way out been guilty of trying to smuggle Terran or Earth DNA out of our solar system?
Yes. Yes, they have. It hasn't been successful. But yeah, they have. They've tried.
From Bridget. Birgit, sorry, not Bridget. Birgit. I'm dyslexic. I've recently heard in a channeling that in the medicine of the near future, the focus will be more on physics rather than on chemistry. Any comments? I'm a nurse and I find that very interesting. Big hug to you all.
I'm sorry, ask the question again.
She heard in the channeling that, you know, this is not even a channeling. This, you know, that in the medicine of the near future, the focus will be more on physics than on chemistry.
Yes, yes, that's exactly right. I knew this person, this woman, and she was an extraordinary person. And she had collected data. And one of the pieces that she had of information that she had collected in her journeys was an experiment of colored gels that were used for healing. And there was a book that was accompanied these gels. And it had to do with an experiment that was done in the I believe it was in the early 1930s in a hospital in Philadelphia. And they would take people that had different diseases, burn victims, and they would put these gels in their hospital room. And the color would heal these people. It was extraordinary. The experiment was extraordinary in its success and how quickly people healed by using color, okay? Color, light, and sound. And the experiment was terminated, and all records of it, my understanding was, were either hidden or destroyed because the pharmaceutical companies couldn't charge anything for it. And, you know, It's like Tesla using the Schumann resonance to create electricity. Where's the meter? Well, there isn't one. It's free. They shut them down, okay? Because money, the monetary system, is slavery. It's control over others. And I'll never forget that. I was, to this day, I think about that so often, about how well that worked, you know, based on the documentation that she had. And it was extraordinary. And, you know, I wonder if she still has it. I've completely lost touch with her. So, but maybe that's something you guys can look up. Maybe some other country doctor is working on this stuff. I don't know. But yes, everything is light. It's all light. We don't need the chemical stuff. We really don't. The body knows how to heal itself. The first thing, though, is this. It all starts right here. And we got to get this right, okay? And part of that is understanding who we really are, what we really are, okay? That's a great question. Thank you. I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, really good. We have a host on Wolf Spirit Radio who is a healer with sound. She uses acoustic frequency. Her name is Shari Edwards.
The Arcturians do that. Tom Kenyon, they do exactly that same thing. You know.
Yeah, I think she's pretty Arcturian, to be honest.
Okay, the Solfeggio tones are supposed to do the same thing, or at least assist, you know, in that process.
Yeah, well, it comes from the voice itself contains the frequencies and lacking that it needs, and she has an amazing technology now that she can tell you whether you're your own man or you've been told by somebody to tell you this. She can analyze voices to that degree of intent. It's fascinating.
Okay. That's cool.
She's a regular host on Wolf Spirit Radio. It's gorgeous.
Well,
I love it.
You might want to you know, post her information so others can get in touch with her. That sounds awesome.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So here's from Mike Kelly. Hi, Mike. Thank you for your help. He's great. Once the A's, and he asks great questions. Once the A's have helped change the future for the better, is it permanently better, or do they continuously need to go back to maintain a benevolent future? And I still haven't figured out what you were talking about earlier, and I think there's some other people. So do you want to kind of talk about this thing about going back from the future and coming back, and it's backwards, and you have to go forwards to go backwards?
Okay, my understanding is this.
From my little brain.
When you look at the future,
I've only got two brain cells to rub together. You got to understand that.
Okay, well, they're clicking. Good for you. Have another spot of tea, night.
Nice cup of tea.
When you look at the future, time begins to run in reverse, and it runs back to where you are in the present moment. Now, the question is, and it's a good one, does it, well, whatever they're doing, and they're not doing it alone, but whatever it is that they're doing, does it permanently change? Well, if they're changing the present moment here, that does in fact change the future. Does it make it all perfect? Does it make it all smooth sailing? I don't know. I don't know. You know, was this wrinkle created purposely to kind of shake everything up, to shake everybody up, to, you know, get everyone to refocus on empowerment? And, you know, did the creator herself set this up to kind of shake things up? I don't have that answer. You know, I don't know. You know, I know what we need to do, and I know what I need to do. And I'm going to do what I have to do for me, and then hopefully I can help others. And right now, that's kind of where it is. I mean, the A's are pretty smart, and so are the other beings in fifth. and they're being mentored by those in 6th and 7th. You know, and those on 6th and 7th are being mentored by those at 8 and 9, and those at 9 are being mentored by 10 and 11, and those at 10 and 11 are being mentored by those who came in on the new 12th band. That is all encompassing. So our education is rolling downhill here. So I have to trust that someone has a seriously good handle on this. Okay? And it's evolving. It's evolving. So, you know, maybe the creator looked at 11 and all the way down to 1 and was like, oh, boring, and shook things up. Who knows? I don't know. You know, it's logical, though, that, you know, if the creator is more feminine than masculine, it does kind of make sense that something like that would occur to just to kind of spice things up.
You know, as you say that, the image that comes to mind is one of those little glass snow scenes where, you know, it's a scene of like the White House in winter, and you shake it up, and then it becomes snow, and the snow starts to fall.
There you go. There you go.
If the universe is female, then she would be fiddling about with these things, wouldn't she?
Yep, exactly. Just to kind of, you know, and you know, some basic truths is what men think women feel, and the women have a million ways of saying no, but only a few mean yes. But you got to figure that out. and men are still trying to figure it out.
Yep. If only men could feel. And yeah. Anyway, so
now that I've totally put myself in hot water.
Oh, tell us. We're all in hot water, but it's okay. It's been warm. It keeps it warm. Anyway, here's another question that is a really excellent question from Mike. As our DNA unlocks, is there a set sequence to the order in which our abilities unlock? And if so, can you tell us the sequence? Or do many abilities turn on at the same time, albeit slowly? And I'm going to add, or does it happen randomly?
I would think that would be individually, that each person would have individual gifts that are stronger than other gifts based on their focused intent of previous lifetimes. And I don't know what that would be for each individual. But let me just give Mike an example. Let's just say that, you know, you began to see colors that normally aren't in our spectrum. And basically what it is you're seeing through the veil. You're beginning to see into fourth density because the color spectrum there is much larger. It's in the over the 100 range. So you're going to begin to see colors saturating through. So you may be one of the first people on your block to begin to see the opening of the curtain of what fourth density looks like, which means you may be in a position to help others understand what it is that they're seeing or they're going to see, so that when they do, they don't freak out and go to their psychologist and say, you know, I need Xanax, or I need this, or I need that because I'm seeing this. You know, etc. It could be that's one of the first gifts that you're going to have, and then the others will come. Each person's different. You know, this is an individual journey. The return home, back to wholeness, is always an individual journey. Group souls will come together and will do certain things together, but the journey is always individualistic. Okay? And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Good question.
Always a good question from Mr. Kelly. Now, there's a couple of connected questions. So this is about, right, Alaria is asking, what can be done about the semi-regressives who are targeting people with scalar wave torture? So targeted individuals.
I addressed that earlier.
Yeah.
I addressed that. And as far as the scalar waves, your light. Create a mirrored ball around you with the mirrors on the outside. Send it back to which it comes. Okay? Try that. If that's something that you're dealing with, surround yourself with a mirrored ball and send those waves back to which they come from. You can do it. Okay? It all starts here anyway. You got to believe yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Because that's what you're creating. You're creating that which you believe is true. Well, it's true that you have a mirrored ball of protection around you, and those waves are going right back. They're not coming to you anymore. Send it back to from which it comes. You don't have to take this shit from anybody. You really don't. Okay? You're already hardwired. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Sometimes I get the feeling it's like a couple of mates and they're just picking up a friend who's just like, they come out of concussion and he keeps asking the same question over and over again because the memory just comes straight out of the mind. It's like there's but I feel that that's like humanity's been given something that makes us feel that way, or that clouds our memory that way. Is it purely trauma? Is there like an electronic thing that makes us like keep on forgetting and like literally makes us stupid, a dumb ray? Is there such a thing? Have they been using it on us?
Well, we've had the net, the electronic net. We've had the attack on our DNA. We've had these, unless you've been a Buddhist in many, many incarnations, up until now, you have been stuck in one of the Catholicisms, and they are incredibly restrictive, and the message is always one of, you're not worthy. You have to go through us in order to get somewhere else. I think it's just been a process of lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Earth's been a pretty tough school for a lot of us. It really, really has. I mean, it's been boot camp. Anyone who's been in the service, they know boot camp. They break your ass down. They do. And that's what it's designed to do. And Earth is a lot like that. It's done a pretty good job on a lot of people, on a lot of souls. It really has. But that's over now. That's over now. You don't have to do this anymore. You have the ability, the right to empower yourself to be free. All you have to do is make the decision. That's all that's left for you to do, is make the decision to be free and to empower yourself. And you will begin the process of doing that.
Yeah,
I can't break it down any simpler. I don't know how to.
How about letting go of the doubts? Because we don't need doubt. People think, oh, you need to doubt yourself, and I don't believe so. That's another implant. That's another.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
A lie. Yeah, that's another word for it.
It's a lie.
Well, here's a great question from Sonia. Very relevant.
Hello, Sonia.
Would Andromeda, and Sonia, I want to just give some kudos. She runs the Alex Collier support team page on Facebook and doing all sorts of good things with transcriptions, I hope, and lots of things. Anyway, would Andromeda have intervened if it hadn't affected them?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I really don't know. But it would affect them. It would have affected everybody eventually, because we're all interconnected. We're all interconnected. Even if it was just the DNA, we're still all interconnected. It would have eventually affected them and the other races. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. They would have intervened anyway. Because I don't. If everything is a whole and everything is interconnected, how can you have this one spot that is black with negativity and not take care of it? It would be like a cancer cell. You know, why would you walk around knowing that it's there without trying to fix it or heal it, so that everything is, all of the host, all of the organism is whole? Why would you just ignore it? I don't know them to be that way at all. And from what I've heard about many of the other races, especially in the upper dimensions, that is not something that would have flown either. They would have eventually, I believe this was destined to be what it is. You know, it's just that we were the trigger. We're the trigger for whatever this new shift is that's occurring. You know,
I think you just hit it on the head, Alex. That it's a cancer. The evil is literally a fungal growth on a galactic scale, and therefore we need. You
still there?
That's the great thing.
Okay, you disappeared on me.
Yeah, no, you froze on me. But I was saying we need a galactic version of borax or alkaline, a sodium bicarbonate or something that will neutralize the acidity of this fungal growth.
Well, maybe that's what the new 12th density brought in. It brought in new frequencies, new light, and new color. And maybe that's just what the doctor ordered.
Ah, maybe there's a color that is the frequency that will neutralize the fungus.
And
I should experiment. I've been messing about with this. I've got specific frequency LED lights that are, I build healing tools as a hobby, and nobody knows about them. But
that's not a surprise.
Yeah, they're good. They're really. It's a really cool thing. I call it the Energizer. I haven't built them yet because I haven't got a package for it, but I'll make one.
You're real.
Okay, I'm real. It's real. It's been real. If the regressive aliens break the rules for non-interference, does this automatically allow the benevolent ones to also do so? If so, is this happening now?
Yes. Yes. Simple answer is yes. Yeah. Yes. The regressives way overstep their boundaries. Way overstep their boundaries. And now they got the entire universe, galaxy, in all its glorious dimensions on their ship. Yes. Yeah. They're up to it to their necks. Hey guys, it's
from Elaine.
A minute or two left.
Oh. Okay, well, this is necessary. Were natural Terran reptilians genetically modified in the same way that apes were?
Wow, I don't know. I don't know. I like that question. I like that question. I'll have to get back to you on that. I simply don't know. I don't know. Well done. Who asked that question?
This is from Elaine.
Well done. Elaine,
Yeah,
I'll find out. Okay, I'll find out, because that would be a question I'd want to know. Well
All right,
done.
Alex. Did we also cover? Did we also cover the races, the 12 races that we're making?
Oh, you're right. Yes, I will bring James. That's the next webinar. You have it now.
There we go. Now we know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time in this little webinar, and for supporting myself and the work, and James. James pays for the servers out of his pocket, and JP does the best he can with ancient equipment. Thank you for supporting us with your wishes, your intentions, and any other way that you can. It's so welcome. You have no idea.
Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey of self-discovery and cosmic enlightenment with Alex Collier. Your support means the world to us. If you found this video insightful, please show your appreciation by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the bell icon to receive notifications for future uploads. Doing so lets you stay connected with the latest cosmic revelations and helps us spread Alex Collier's profound teachings to a broader audience. Remember, every like, subscription, and bell click can awaken more minds and ignite a collective shift in consciousness. We encourage you to share your thoughts, reflections, and questions in the comments below, as your engagement fuels the expansion of knowledge and fosters a vibrant community of truth seekers. Together, we can uncover the hidden truths of the universe and embark on a journey of cosmic transformation. Until we meet again, keep seeking, growing, and shining your light in the vast cosmic tapestry. If you would like to see Andromedan contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we host an online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information and dates of upcoming online seminars, please visit alexcollier.org. Please watch one of the above videos to find out more about Alex's knowledge.